Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today we're going to be checking out a band that was recommended by our patrons. This will be Sabaton. It'll be my very first time hearing them. But I did do a little bit of research. They are a Swedish heavy metal band, and they largely write songs about historical events and acts of heroism, which I think is pretty cool. Today's song is called Uprising, and it's based on the Polish underground resistance during World War II to German occupation. This uprising lasted for 63 days and had little outside support, and it was the biggest European resistance movement during World War II. So, the video we're going to be watching today is from 2012 from the Polish Woodstock Festival. Let's get to it. It never ceases to amaze me that people who have long hair and are headbanging are willing to have fire around them. I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster, but it looks really cool. Okay, let's keep going.
When the Nazis was the rule on Poland, 1939, and the Allies burned away. The underground was a hope of freedom as a whisper, sitting as bad, and they never lost their faith. Women, men, and children fight, they were dying side by side. Blood they shed upon the street was a sacrifice willingly paid.
Okay, first impression. I think that the lead singer of this band is Joachim. He has a really delightful combo of a deep voice with a nice growl on it. It's consistent sound in his voice. It doesn't sound like it's from extra pressure. The sound is actually very open, and you can really hear that he's got some nice resonance down there as well. So it sounds like he's maintaining a nicely open throat the whole time with that bit of growling. I would guess that it's probably healthily produced, but I would need to hear it a lot more. I like hearing the crowd sing along with him. I love the energy in this. It's very clear that it is heroic. It feels that way. Let's talk a little bit about these lyrics. So Warsaw Rise, it was that first raw moment. I loved the immediate energy of that. And then you have, do you remember when the Nazis forced their rule on Poland, 1939, and the Allies turned away? From the underground rose a hope of freedom as a whisper, city in despair, but they never lost their faith. I like the way that this is immediately starting to tell a story. They ask a question in the lyrics right away, which helps you become more involved as an audience member. Do you remember? Right? That grabs our attention. And I like the way it's almost taking us on more of like an epic journey. But they're framing it as an epic journey. Maybe would be framed within a fantasy theme, but it's about something that's real and amazing. So far, I really, really like these lyrics. I would love for the mix to be such that I could hear him a little bit more, but that would be at the expense of hearing the crowd, which I really appreciate in live performances. So I'm not sure if I actually would want that, but I really hope I get to hear more of his voice.
Voices from underground, whispers of freedom. 1944, held the dead again, calling Warsaw, city at war. Voices from underground, whispers of freedom. Rise up and hear the call. History calling to you.
Wait, is he playing barefoot on the drums? Oh, he is! Check that out. He's playing the drums barefoot. I That's surprising. I know I like to drive barefoot sometimes. I think you're not supposed to. Oh no, I hope I don't get in trouble. But um, that's because I like to feel the attachment. I feel like I can control the pedal a little bit more. I wonder if he likes feeling the pedals more on his feet. But at the same time, that's a lot of impact. And I wonder if it might not be better to have a shoe to help support that impact so it doesn't get so tiring. But I think this is the first time I've seen somebody drumming barefoot in a concert. So very, very interesting. I do like singing barefoot because I feel like I can feel the ground better. I'm less likely to trip. I know it's an issue. But also I feel like I can put my support or sense of support deeper into the ground when I'm barefoot. Anyhow, very interesting choice. I'm curious what's behind that choice. If you guys know, write it in the comments below. Wow.
Spirit, soul, and heart in accordance with the old traditions. 1944, till the allies burn away. Fighting street to street in a time of hope and desperation. Did it on their own, and they never lost their faith. Women, men, and children fight, they were dying side by side. But the blood they shed upon the street was a sacrifice willingly paid.
Nice. Okay, it looks like we're just getting crowd singing the chorus now. I'm super digging his voice. I love the deeper tone of it. He's singing lower than a lot of other singers that we've looked at on the channel who are fronting metal bands or fronting rock bands. He's just got a nice, so much natural resonance in the tone. He almost sounds like there's some sort of classical training in there because of the way there's a dome inside of his head, but that it's so surprising to hear the extra grit on it with the layers that just remind me so much of classical singing, honestly. Like I would say he's like a healthy baritone operatically, but then I hear grit and I'm like, wait a second, opera baritone wouldn't add that in. No. It's a fascinating combination. Really, really cool. Thank you for making this suggestion. Really fascinating. Let's go back and catch this drummer is so happy. Okay, let's talk a little bit about these words here. So the one that the crowd gets really well is Warsaw City at War. And they seem to sing along with that well. And then it was interesting, he would bring the lines in between back to him on the mic, probably because they might switch up more. It's just more words to remember. So they have Warsaw City at War. He sings Voices from Underground, Whispers of Freedom. By the way, you might notice he tends to roll his R's or flip them a lot more often. This is something that's frequently done by people whose first language isn't English. The R sound is a difficult one to sing, but also flipping the R tends to heighten the language a little bit as well. So there's a ton of different reasons why they might do that. R's in general are kind of an uglier sound to sing as well. Our ears tend to think that they're just not as pretty. So flipping the R is a totally valid option. I'm kind of curious why they decided to do it and what kind of reasoning was behind it. Anyhow, Warsaw City at War, crowd. Voices from the Underground, Whispers of Freedom, hymn. 1944, I believe is the crowd. Help That Never Came is him, and then calling, and then they say Warsaw City at War. So you have this rhyme scheme between City at War and 1944. Warsaw City at War, 1944. And the melody in the the melody that the crowd is singing also is the same on both of those or very similar, so it's easier for them to remember. So that's part of what makes it sticky, is that they both have a rhyme and a similar melody. So these two things make it much easier to bring that crowd in with them, and then he sings the part in between. Kind of cool. Voices from underground, whispers of freedom, rise up and hear the call. History calling to you. Now I had to look this up. So I read these lyrics ahead of time and I was like, wait a second, that lyric is not English. And I believe you say it Warszawa Walcz. I think I might have just butchered that, which means Warsaw Fight. And I love that at this moment, the crowd just screams that out with him. It's definitely a call to resistance, a call to stand up for what's right. So this is very, very exciting to hear them sing this together. Let's go back. I'm going to see if we can catch that whole chorus again so you can listen to the stickiness of the theme and also really observe how he's going back and forth with them.
The blood they shed upon the street was a sacrifice willingly paid. Warsaw, city at war. Underground whispers of freedom. 1944. Help that never came. Calling Warsaw, city at war. Voices from underground whispers of freedom. Rise up and hear the call. History calling to you.
Just quick call out. I appreciate that they all have camo pants on and then various kinds of black shirts. His shirt looks like it's got like a serious metal thing going on in the front. Looks like some fun LARPing gear there. So anyhow, I like the theme within the band outfits. Can anybody tell me why metal bands tend to have the best hair? I need to know. I don't think I've found a satisfactory answer for this. I'm really serious too. I know it seems like a sort of off the cuff question, but a lot of times I see guys who just have really chosen bold hair statements. In his case, he has this like small mohawk happening and even has like a really defined beard. What do you call that when it's just along the jawline? And then a lot of the guys here have longer hair, which you see a lot more in metal as well. Is that specifically so that headbanging is more fun? I don't know. But it is very clear hair statements that require a lot of care. So I'm very curious and I'd appreciate any answer. Love the crowd energy in this.
On the street lights in the city, broken many years ago. Bring a curfew, high sewers, wall size, time to rise now. On the street lights in the city, broken many years ago. Bring the curfew, high sewers, wall size, time to rise now.
They're about to do something big. There's that break of silence there. Anytime there's a break of silence, that is to help you greater appreciate the moment that comes after the silence. Silence is important. It should be used very effectively in composition. Anyhow, I'm curious how many guys we're seeing there. I counted at least 2, but I think I heard 3. I think that there's 3 voices going there. I like the way they're not going into massive harmony or something like that at this point. Often just having unison or octaves will really help with that anticipation in the build. So I think that's interesting. Let's see how many are singing. See if you can. Also, is this a blow-up mattress that somebody's supposed to jump on? I mean, that seems pretty comfortable, but I feel like it makes you more likely to topple somehow. I don't know. Again, a question to y'all who are all watching this. Why is a blow-up mattress being surfed? Yeah, it looks like a great landing point. Okay, I'm stopping again. Sorry. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. I think we have 3 guys singing here. 3. I wonder if there's anybody else in the back too. All singing unison. So the same note. This drummer has some of the most fun energy that I've seen. His faces playing the drums, I feel like I'm watching myself when I edit my videos. It's great. He's making great faces. I love the twirl. The twirl was awesome. And the barefoot, he seems like such a fun character to know. Okay, we're going to catch the twirl again. It was cool. Nice! And it's a little hidden by the crowd here, but he actually took that one up an octave to really heighten the energy on it. Good job. And he kept that. The gravel was still in his voice. It was nice. Nice syncopation on those hits. That section would take a while to practice together. The syncopation of those hits and the way that they're not always what you expect, it's partly what makes them so jarring and good. But that is also what makes them a little difficult to sync up. So I'm guessing they practice that part probably more than any other part of the piece. Wait, this is a middle song, guys. It's supposed to be like 8 minutes at least, right? 6 minutes at least. Okay, we're gonna go back because I want to hear a little bit more. I wasn't done yet. We're gonna go back. I know I'm spoiled by metal. Okay. You know, I was wrong the first time. I said that was an octave higher. It is a 6th higher, which instead of just being the same note up an octave, it is actually adding harmony to it. So it gives it an extra layer. But because it's higher, it also adds that extra energy. So it's doing more than just raising it an octave. Even better decision than I thought it was. Back one more. Awesome. I had to look up his name. Daniel Molbach is the drummer. He definitely had great energy that he brought to that. I imagine that ending, those syncopated beats, it was like whack-a, 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 whack. It was just a great jolted, but very exciting and energetic ending. I really liked that. Overall, I really dig Joachim, tell me how to pronounce that. I like his voice. I think the depth of it with the gravel, of course. It was also the enunciation, though. It was very rhythmic in the enunciation. And the band overall seems like they are very rhythmically driven. So it's easier for a crowd to sort of sink into that beat with them. And I also was really enjoying the amount of power that he was putting behind his vocals. It's often harder to put power behind a lower vocal. Lower vocals tend to, or lower notes often need more relaxation to really find the openness and depth in the tone, whereas higher notes, they tend to be easier to put some more power behind. Of course, you have to make sure you're not putting it behind those high notes in a bad way that's vocally straining. That's another story. However, he's able to put a lot of power behind his low notes in addition to his high notes. And I think that that shows some interesting and good technique. I would definitely like to hear him more. So please continue to make recommendations down in the comments below this YouTube video. Thank you very much to our patrons for selecting this song. This was delightful to get into. I especially love the history of this song and understanding what this band is about. What an awesome mission. So thank you very, very much. I hope that you all will come and join me on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. Arizona time here for YouTube premieres. And of course, come and join me on Patreon sometime. We're an awesome group. We love playing video games, but we also just like talking about good music and food and life. So come and say hello sometime. And if you want to learn more about music or about singing, check out my courses on thecharismaticvoice.com.